see if I can go to
Mine! Said goes a dump, but it's my dump.
potentially try to earn back what I had. Music. Or fuck, what did I say? Earn back what I had? No, I was thinking of Plaid. Fucking see if we can get my boosters for affinity and such. I'll do the moat stuff tomorrow morning or something. I cannot sleep for the life of me. I have been, or well, the stream is like an hour or two-ish after the one previous. It's only because played with Bostrom. Yeah, it was fun, it was goofy. Feel bad. Yeah, GTA Online fucking... I had this mission thing set up in hopes that him and I would get a payout of $1 million each, but only I did, and yeah, stupid. I fucking hate that. But last I remember, both, or like everybody who does it gets the $1 million, but I guess not. But I don't really care. I'm not like super hyper focused about GTA. It's so weird touching that game again after like what, since like high school, kind of, not really. Oh no, the last time I played it was when I was with the team. I played a little bit with Bostrom and all. No. Last time I played was after I got out of the team. And it was with Bostrom, Neptune, Mal, and I. And we were doing the submarine island heist as soon as it came out. Of course, I think Bostrom just bought it out with her own money. So we did the setups and stuff, and then we did the mission. It was pretty fun. I was paired up with Neptune, and Mal and Bostrom were doing their thing. I think Neptune and I were trying to sneak everywhere, and we were doing well. I think until I tripped one of the guards off, and I want to say I missed my shot, and the fucking bullet just went past him, and boom, fucking whole island alerted. Hooray, yippee. But anywho, I don't know. Game is fun at times. I think it's only really fun with friends, but that's just me. I say that when I'm like what, level 140 something in that game, and at least about like 100 of those levels were definitely just me when I first got GTA, when I first released, and I played online after it launched and everything. Pretty fun. Just grind the fuck out of every mission I could possible. I kept up with updates, and I think around this time I was in my sophomore year, I think, because GTA came out like what, 2014? Cool. GTA 5 release date 2013. I think that would have been 12, so no, I was not in high school, I was in middle school. I went to high school when I was 15, that would have been my freshman year. So, I bought it a year after then, therefore I was probably in 8th grade. Yeah, sounds about right. What a wacky time. We had got in, I think my sister and I had gotten some Christmas money. Fuck yeah. See if we can get the resource one too. And we paired it up together to buy the game. And I was doing therapy around then as well. And my counselor came through to check on me at home. And she wanted to like catch up and talk and whatnot. Sometimes they offer to like take you to the nearest park or something to have a better like space to talk, but I didn't want to. It was cold and I don't know. I just wanted to vibe inside. And of course, I was like just excited because my dad had gone to the grocery store to get groceries, of course, and GTA. But I told him to not like just fucking toss it out and about because I didn't want my counselor to see and be like, "Oh, you should not be playing that." Because fuck you, I wanted to play. But no, my sisters and I grew up with GTA. Kind of. God damn my throat. No, my sisters and I grew up with GTA. I had a couple of the first ones. I even played like I think I played the first one on the. No, was it the original Xbox? It was somewhere with one of my mom's friends' kids who had like a lot of old shit, and I was able to play and experience like the new or the old fucking GTAs and the most current ones at that time, and it was really fun. And I showed my sisters it when he would let me borrow his CDs or when we would go over and play, and it was just fun. It was goofy. If it wasn't that, it was Halo or this fucking like British racing game that he had that was oddly fun. But I don't remember the name of it. There's also this like zombie game him and I would play that was so fucking fun. It's not, it's not even zombie. It's like this free for all thing with a bunch of wacky characters, and some of them are zombies. Like I used to play the chef zombie a lot. That would just kind of roll his head at you and kill you that way. I don't know. There was a bunch of characters, and it was really fucking fun. But I'll never figure out what game that was. There was one time, a couple years back, where I somehow remembered enough to search it up, and I actually got a result. And one of the first results was the exact map he would always put us on, which was like this little Arctic-looking fucking thing. And what a fun game! I really wish I could remember those details again. Or at least I don't think I'll be able to right now, considering that. Like I'm a mix of tired, but I can't sleep. I say that and I can see like little dots in my eyes. It's not severe. I'll be fine, of course. I just more like I don't know. I just kept tossing and turning, and I couldn't sleep for the life of me. My mind is just so full, and I'm just like brain full, but the ability to formulate sentences that can describe what exactly is in my mind right now is not exactly in the best of conditions. Kind of, sort of. I don't know. I think I've mainly been thinking about like fucking therapy and like talks I've been having recently with them. They've been like fucking carving at me. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I don't mind. Like, I'm more than happy to like speak more about like anything they're like trying to understand, but because there's definitely times where like I overdo it and it kind of like fucks me over through the day, and I'm just like fuck. I'm just like I just start feeling mentally and physically exhausted. Even after like say it was a rest day or I didn't do anything extremely heavy, and yet I'm still like just tired. But no, I think like one of the lighter topics that I can definitely mention while I wait for a little credit or not a credit booster, a resource booster. What was it? I had mentioned something pretty heavy, and I just I had a deep talk with my therapist, counselor person. And I was just, after that, like, the thing we talked about, I just started questioning a lot. And I asked, I'm like, yeah, I can ask you something a little, like maybe, like, give me, like, your personal opinion of, I know you don't, like, obviously you weren't there with a lot of these things, but hearing these things, I want to know your perspective. And she was like, yeah, go for it. I'm always here to help. And I'm like, hearing the comparison to who I was to who I've become, can you really say I've grown? And she's like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure you probably still, like, regret a lot of the things you've done, and it seems like it still kind of carries a toll on you at times. And I'm like, at times, yes, but not always. It doesn't follow me around as heavy anymore. I think it's just more, I think it's been hard at times having to adjust to more peaceful sceneries, because most of my life, if not the majority, was and has always been full of just loud and chaos. And now that I'm a lot older, I realize that, like, you know, the volume has been down for a good bit, and it's just weird, I guess. And so it's just, I don't know. Now that that noise is down, like with family and stuff, like it's definitely still got some. It's still definitely up to an extent, but it's not as loud anymore. Now I got this whole new set of things as an individual, and I guess I'm just, I don't know. I guess I'm just confused because this is a whole new noise to me, and it still is, no matter whether I've been doing this for like the past 5 years. I just, I just can't seem to grasp, I guess, the acceptance of these things, and I'm struggling adjusting at times. And they just told me that, like, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty normal thing. Like, you might have to, like, think further into what it is exactly that may be louder than you'd like, or sometimes some of those things can be familiar enough that we kind of tune them out because of how used to we are in those environments, that whatever's coming from back then can still be applied to whatever personal things you have now. And I was just like, fuck, I mean, I guess, but how do you spot a sound that's so well blended in the background? Like, it kind of feels impossible, and it gets pretty exhausting. It's like going through a fucking box of shit that you've cycled through like 10 through 20 to fucking thousands of fucking times. And like, I think I'm definitely being impatient with myself at times, because I just want to get it. I want to understand, like, these little things about myself that I've not necessarily ignored, but I haven't really been too attentive to, like, my adult years so far. And it's not on purpose, of course. I mean, it's never been extremely easy having to just pick up exactly where, or just, you know, or just not to stop. Jesus Christ, I'm fumbling my words. To be unable to probably be, like, rest. Oh fuck, so many infinity blessings. Like, even before adulthood, I've been in this like state of I can't stop doing things, like whether it be for myself or to help someone else. Like it feels like if I were to take a break, it'll all kind of fall apart, and so like I kind of had to keep up that work because of just the unfortunate circumstances I had to go through, and it's not fun. It just sucks because it just all feels so messy when you finally get like a good glance of the big picture of it all, and you start picking and going through the things that you want to essentially fix and get better at. Like as of late, I mean, I've definitely gotten a lot better with actually talking about things in terms of like being able to get over emotionally withdrawing from things because I'm getting really annoyed at that fact, but I understand why it happens. I know why or what it's linked to. It's just it's kind of hard to like just do it sometimes. And it's not affecting anybody negatively. I think it's mainly just affecting me because of how exhausting it can be to like, I don't know, it feels like I gotta push myself through. And I know it's all in a healthy manner and it'll help me in the end. It's just goddamn. It's still pretty heavy. But that was mainly just kind of part of the topic we talked about. Honestly, it was kind of fun having those kind of conversations with people. But I tend to definitely find myself answering most of those things before they do because I don't know, because I'm aware enough to understand what it is, where it's coming from, and all these fucking things. But I somehow still get confused about them. But I also do definitely just overthink it sometimes, without a doubt. And even then, that fucking frustrates me too, just because I'm just like, God damn it, like I need to just take what's in front of me and leave it alone. There's no need to keep continuously poking it and questioning it. Just fuck. Yeah. No resource drop lessons, huh? I was gonna go do an organ farm. Oh, I also did get Quora. Like I said, the stream is right after the one previously where like the guy, I couldn't buy it from the guy. But he messaged me as soon as I hopped off and I hopped back on. Because I forgot that the where borrow shows up, there's a trading thing you can manually go to people for. And we just traded there, and I gave him an extra 5 plan. I feel bad. I think he was being a little sarcastic, but in a goofy manner. Because he was texting me, and I was like, oh. He was selling the Core Prime print for like 25, so I gave him. Oh. I'm gonna ask. Oh. I need to put my signature smiley face. He got it. Exactly. Oh shit. That Folly? No, it's Nova. I always see. I see a lot of Nova proto frames. I didn't even know she had a proto frame until YouTube Shorts. Because I didn't even know she was in fucking 99. Like, I did the whole messaging thing with her and, like, the whole time travel shit she was going on. But I had no clue that was Nova. And I also just, I don't know. I guess I didn't think about it too much. I saw her and I was like, that's cool. At first I assumed it was Arthur's sister, Eleanor. Yeah. I'm going around when I don't. Organ cells, yes. I don't remember exactly. I want to say it's Sedana or Jupiter. Oh, Google strikes again. Organ cells, Warframe, farm. Gabby survival on Cress. This one. Oh. They have a affinity boost right now. I mean, I don't need the affinity boost right now, but I'll take it. Oh, Lulu Shroom. Oh, they're probably not gonna wait. Oh, I think they're here for the same thing. I should have brought Uriel. And I should have put it on Steel Path. More drops that way. Or it's a more guaranteed drop. Hey guys. But no, with what I was saying, oh no, I mean I've definitely gotten a lot better with all those things, and I mean I'm happy about it. I'm proud of myself. I mean I know it's, fucking, it kind of, saying that kind of contradicts what I said like a couple of streams ago where I just want someone to be proud of me. It's still true. I mean, I'm just a lot less emotional about it right now, considering that I don't know. But I don't know. It's just that sense of vulnerability when it came to that moment where I don't know. I guess I'm just sad about a lot of things that I guess I just don't feel seen at times, and I wish I was, for sure. And yeah, that's fine. It's a different thing to deal with another day. If I start thinking about that right now, I'll just no. And again, it's not laying on my chest heavy right now. Like it lingers, but it's not. It's not. I don't know. It's just not there right now. Well, whatever. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, I did explain it. I'm just overthinking. I'm giving myself shit for the way I'm wording things because like this entire week, maybe even no, probably like within these past 2 weeks, I've been stumbling and just stuttering a lot. Stumbling over my words and stuttering a lot more lately. I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. I think I think my brain is thinking too fast to the point where I'm not able to, fucking keep up with my mouth. Yeah, and it's pretty annoying just because, I mean, it hasn't been this bad in a while. Or I just fucking stutter nonstop half the time, or I just give up completely. Like, talking to people sometimes, I end up stuttering a fuck ton. Oh my god. To the degree that I just completely give up on what I'm saying, what I want to say, or, wow, it just sucks, man. I also recommended speech therapy, just because, I mean, I do mumble, and maybe it can help me manage, just kind of pace myself instead of constantly fucking, oh damn, tripping over myself to trying to get out what I want in my brain. But I think it also just, Heavenly Blade, is that a Fate reference? But no, I'm thinking of something else. But I don't know, this whole like thing that I've been doing recently, I think has also been just kind of cluttering my brain, along with just everything else that's been on mine asked about, or you know, all these things. I've just been fucking with my speech, and I'm sure within time it'll slowly just go away, and you know, I won't be stuttering as much anymore, but we'll see. Again, I definitely don't believe it's anything I should like go get checked for, because it doesn't feel that way. It really just feels like my brain is just going too fast and I can't keep up with saying half the things I want to. I already hear someone telling me that it's autism or something. You know, funny enough, who was it? It was my little sister who questioned me one time. It was like fucking almost 3 weeks ago, where she was like, you sure you don't have autism? And I'm like, I'm sure. I mean, the last time I got fucking diagnosed was 2022, so I don't think anything would have just drastically changed from here to now, from there to now. That, and I feel like, yeah, autism is like usually always there. I could be wrong. I don't know much about like the prognosis of things, but I assume that's just how that would work. I don't want to leave yet. I need more orchid cells. I'm just in a vibe here, but nah, I don't know. But I was just telling her like, no, like I got checked for that not extremely long ago, or not before that. Sorry, fuck. I just got a diagnosis around 2022 because I had to for school related things. Well, I mean, I think anyone who knows me well enough knows what happened. Couldn't get the paperwork in time, and boop. Passed everything I needed to. Just needed a fucking paper to sign off on it. And I couldn't get it within the fucking days I needed it on. Hooray. That shit was so disappointing, man. I fucking cried for like a week straight. Just cause, I mean, like those past like 3 to 4 years of my life I had dedicated on doing that, along with like working and shit, and so many fucking things, to the point where like it kind of blocks some progress for other things that I wanted to also get over with and do, like financially and shit. Just to be told, no, not enough time, buckaroo. Like, you have all the credits you need, you passed all the classes you had to, but we need a little signature from your fucking therapist. And so that because you don't have that, no graduation for you. I'm like, great. That would have been my actual diploma and not a fucking GED. God, I remember that rabbit hole that I fell into for a while. And then I stopped going to therapy there, because I was pretty upset with them. 2 to 3 business days. Fuck you, mean I don't got 2 to 3 business days. It was a whole messy fucking thing, and it still upsets me even like just thinking about it. Because, I mean, at that point, all that shit made me feel like worthless, like fucking useless. I feel like all that I had worked up to was for fuck all, and just it sucked. All that work I did, and I don't know. Finally hoping that I could get over with the stress that's been on my back for so many years, but I couldn't. After that, I felt like everything else was catching up to me, that I had to kind of just stop, like, trying to even pursue a GED after that, because for one, I was fucking exhausted out of my mind. I was fucking mentally defeated with all that. And I just couldn't, like, I just could not see myself doing it again. Like, sure, I mean, to be fair, I didn't necessarily give up, although it sounds like it. I needed a break. I needed something. I mean, fucking, I was still mourning and shit. I had the shit that was going on with, like, family, and then, and this, and I was needed in so many places to the point where I felt like I was getting fucking torn in every direction. It just hurt. But I got enough stuff together that I've definitely put myself in a position now that I'm able to do it a little better, and I'm almost done with, like, most of that stuff now, thankfully. Balancing that and work life and stuff. And what I mean by work life is just more interviews. So I had something promising earlier on, but but I don't know. Ugh. Fucking God, man. I think the only thing that, or whatnot, that cheered me up around that time was Pip. He was still around there then. He was still around then. He knew I was feeling down like half the time. So I would let him out of his cage like every morning so he could roam around the entire day around the room or the house sometimes. Or even put his cage like outside. Kind of sometimes. He had a fucking mansion of a cave. A cage, oh my god. So it was kind of hard to like move it out of the room we had. But every time he came out, immediately up down the little ladder of the bunk bed my sister and I shared when we were living over there. He would just stand on the bars next to my head, and I just hear his little fucking wings flap, and then I just wait for him to chirp before looking up, and he starts chirping like confusingly. And I'll just leave him. I won't like give him a reaction for a minute, and he starts getting mad at me until I look up and I'm like, "Wyatt, what do you want? You stink." He just started yelling at me, but he used to he would do his little happy dance as he did it, because he loved when I gave him attention. It's fucking cute. I miss that little guy. And I would just kind of lay there, and he would try to crawl on my head or jump on my head more so. And I just kind of talked to him. "Hey Pip, how you doing, big guy?" And he chirped back, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's good. I kind of wish I knew what you were saying half the time, but I'm assuming you're having a good day." And he just like, just do a little jig. "Yeah, you fuck it up, big guy." I miss him, man. Made me really sad when he went through like a little depression because Marbles had passed, and it was just him. And as much as I would have gotten him another friend, he was also pretty old, and I don't know. I didn't want to like. What do you say? But to me, it was a lot. I mean, when Marbles died, I fucking cried. She was family to me. Although how silly it sounds, I fucking love that bird. God, she's been there for me since like sophomore year. When we got him. Hardly. I don't think I picked up many organ cells. Whatever. 2 organ cells. Yippee, hurry. I'll definitely do steel pads. But no. They well, he got sad and I was with him like a lot, like the majority of the time within like the past, or the next 2-3ish months. I slept in the living room at this time when I lived with my mom and all that happened. And he was in my sister's room with that big old mansion of a cage. And I told him like, hey, I want to sleep here on the floor, your Pip, and try to just be around him as much as I can, because little guy's going through it. And they're okay with it. They kind of could tell as well that he was sad, and I wasn't going to just leave him alone. Even if at the end of the day he doesn't understand what I'm doing for him and whatnot. I wanted that little guy to make sure. I wanted him to make sure he knew he wasn't alone, you know? But after that, he got a lot closer to me because Marbles was the one that, like, fucking adored me. Every time I would come into the room, like, oh, where's Marbles? And she would fluff up and then start chirping very lightly. And I just look at her and I'm like, oh, there's my pretty fucking girl. How you doing? And she started chirping and flapping her little wings. I'm like, you want to come out? Let's go. And I would bring Pip along with me all the time too, because he was always like monkey see, monkey do type of thing. I wanted him to be as comfortable too, and I would play with him and like just try to help him get accustomed around me more often. Because I mean, I'm the one that trained them. I'm the one that, I forgot the word. It's kind of like what people do with horses, where like they, is it trains? No. I don't know, but I got them comfortable with everybody. I always did that with our animals. Every time we had anything. Oh, speaking of animals, I miss my fucking hermit crab, man. He was the coolest fucking little guy I ever had. So I'm gonna say the name, but keep in mind I was like a booger eating 8-year-old. I named him Hermie. Hermie the hermit crab. How fucking generic for an 8-year-old. But I love that thing to death. He had the coolest fucking shell out there, and one of my favorite things was he was pretty smart. He knew I was the one that was taking care of him, because I remember my mom, dad, and I put our hands in front of him when I let him out to roam a bit. In a surface that was malleable, of course, not like fucking grass or something. And he just came towards me, slowly but surely. And yeah, but unfortunately he passed away because my mom hurt the fucking guy who gave it to us wrong, and like how to take care of him. They only need to drink water at one time, and I'm like, Mom, I need to get that sponge that they normally drink out of, because I don't think he's gonna just dip himself in a cup or something. And she's, oh no, it's not the water, it was the fucking food, the food that he was selling. She was like, oh, come by it next week. Like, I was like, yeah, we just fed them, so you don't have to worry for a week or so. And I was like, Mom. And so we had our shitty little HP HP like family computer. And I took the liberty of searching things up on like alternative feeds and stuff, but not a lot came out. And after I think a month or two, he did end up passing away, and it made me so sad, man. But I do miss our rabbits too. Fucking Trinity and Neo, our cats, Sebastian and Zorro, our dogs, Perrita and Midnight. Oh, our two iguanas that we used to have, Gatuk and Godzilla. Atuk being monster in I don't know what language. I think it was made up from that one old like 60s, 50s film called Caveman. My dad loved that movie, so. And the monster in that movie is a fucking oversized iguana that they poorly animated in, but I mean, it is an old movie, so. But yeah, oh yeah, we also had chickens, we had ducks, geese. Not all at the same time, of course. I think our cats would have fucking. Oh my god, they were ruthless. I remember one of them killed a bird one time and brought it to us as like a hunting trophy to kind of. Whatchamacallit. Yeah, it's that thing that cats do. I believe, if I heard this right, was they bring you like a dead something to kind of like show you that you suck at hunting type of thing. Sometimes it's a little gift. I don't know. I could be getting those two mixed up, but regardless, yeah, no. And then obviously our parakeets. I've never had a different bird other than a parakeet. My dad had a friend who had a what are those fucking the little gray ones with the mohawk called cockatoo. Google again. No, it wasn't a cockatoo. Pet birds. A cockatiel. But yeah, he had one, and oh my god, he was very rowdy. But he was great. I loved him. Every time my dad wanted to go visit his friend and brought me and my sister along so we can go play with their kids, I'd always greet the bird first. And oh, they also had a hedgehog. I forgot about that. And they let me rub his little belly. It was great. It was cute. God, but the neighborhood they lived in at the time terrified me because we would always get there when the sun was setting, and we would always leave when it was dark. And they lived on this like narrow dirt road, full of fucking holes and shit due to like erosion, picking up all that dirt and throwing it around with wind. Like storms were pretty heavy back then, back in my hometown. And I don't know, it just looked creepy because there's a bunch of like low-hanging trees or trees with low-hanging branches, and driving through them in the middle of the night just creeped me the fuck out. Didn't help. Didn't help. Oh my god, it didn't help that my mom showed us Jeepers Creepers around like I want to say around that time. I was 6 years old potentially. I don't remember exactly, but every time we would hang out with those kids, we would always just play Guitar Hero. I'm sure it's not shocking to imagine that I always lost. I always sucked at fucking Guitar Hero, man. And it sucks because I always wanted to get good at it, but I never got a console. Or I didn't also have a console back then. Oh no, I did. I had the PS2. I didn't have the game and the guitar. It was pretty pricey at the time, and the economy has never really been exactly the best, especially over here. So, I never really got one. Closest thing I got to a guitar, even, since I always wanted a guitar. It's funny, I have one now, and it just builds with dust in the corner of my room. If only it didn't have the American flag painted on it. Fucking, it just looks like a hippie guitar. But I strum it every now and then. But the closest thing I got to a guitar back then was the Paper Jams guitar. Well, specifically, can't forget this, specifically the AC/DC limited edition collab they had. What a banger. I have it here, hold on. It's called the AUgh Paper Jams AC/DC Special Edition Guitar. Banger. The cool thing about it is that you could theoretically play specific notes on it, but they were embedded with the frets on the paper guitar. And for no one, or anyone who doesn't know what a paper guitar is, it's pretty much like just a flat guitar with a sticker on top of it, and it had touch pads on it, or fuck, what are they called? It's not like they're not buttons. It's just straight up flat, and it just like motion sensed when you would touch like where the frets are and whatnot. But you could kind of play songs on it, but you were essentially just playing a piano with the damn thing. So, but it was fun. I love that thing. I think it broke, not by my hands, surprisingly enough. I think one of my sisters, like we were probably moving from the trailer park we were at the time, probably like squished it or kicked it in purposefully or on accident. Couldn't tell you. But anywho, God, it's funny, like talking about all these little random things in my life just keeps bringing up little things that I kind of forgot about. And just like, I don't know, it's weird, it's wacky. It's definitely tiring me out because it's using up a lot of brain power to just remember these things. I mean, just the other day, my sister and I were telling my little sister about like the evolution of technology and how crazy it is. And we even asked her like, hey, is there anything you ever like questioned or were ever curious about in terms of like how things have changed compared to the time like we were your age or something? And she said no, not really. But my sister and I just started going back and forth on things like from Leapfrog to fucking, I mean, although like I'm not necessarily from that time period, from like the 90s and shit, we still had like computers with floppy disk drives and stuff like that, and everything was still kind of very slow. Fax machines were fax machines. The messenger thingy was still around on computers. I forgot what it was called, but it's the little icon with the two silhouettes of people. Oh, they look like bowling pins, but what else? We used to watch movies on VHS at times, and we even burned recordings and stuff onto them. My dad's camcorder that he used to record a bunch of like our family moments, which we lost completely, were recorded on a little VHS tape, and then he switched over to small little CDs that would burn everything onto them. I still remember when he got that, when we were going to SeaWorld for the first time, and he would he would replay it a lot when we got home, because he was just like so fascinated with technology and like how crazy it is that these little CDs that he has can save all this footage that he's recording out there. And so sometimes you'd find him just fucking messing with that shit and recording just anything he could that was mildly interesting. Until a point, there was a point in time until he gave up. There's a point in time where he gave up and then picked it right back up. And I'll always remember the conversation where he randomly came into Mom's room. I was playing on my PS2, And oh my god, yeah, fucking we had Zorro. Zorro fucking slammed his head on the glass door of the TV cabinet. Fucking cat. Oh man. But Dad came in with his camcorder and he was like, "Oh, guys, we need to record something funny." And we were like, "What?" He's like, "America's funniest videos gives like a $10,000 cash prize to the first place winners who catch something funny." And even at that time, kid or not, I just looked at him like, we're not gonna fucking win. We're not funny." But he was pretty enthusiastic about it. And so right after that idea of his, he was like a fucking gunslinger with a camera, always at the ready to take it out of his little holster and fucking film. Like, not long after he said that, that's when our cat Zorro had accidentally fucking walked into the glass panel of our TV stand that we had. It's one of those like old retro entertainment centers, like it's fully made out of wood and has like a bunch of doors that open and close. And I think it was me who had left it open because I was trying to get one of my games. And Zorro just came to the room, just no thoughts, nothing, just big old eyes, happy to be here, and then boink. And right after, I felt so bad because he goes, "Ah." Poor fucking Zorro, man. Love that cat. Zorro and Sebastian. We had a bunch of other ones, but we gave them away. Like, we had TV, we had Charlie, Mr. Miyagi. We had two other kittens after we got out of my hometown. We had an orange cat, a little baby cat, named him Angel. And the other one, I want to say his name was Dirt. I won't lie, because he loved rolling on the dirt. But this random couple was looking for a stray to adopt. And Dirt was rolling on the dirt. Still like a teenager kind of esque. And no, he was still a kitten. And they came up to him and you were like, "Is that anyone's cat?" And I was like, "I like him, but no." They're like, "Okay, we're going to take him." And I was like, "Okay." And then I got really sad right after because I loved Dirt. Dirt was cool. Dirt was a homie, always waiting for me at my front door when the school bus would drop me off. But this was like middle school. I was like, I think I was still in 6th grade, yeah. But, God, yeah. It was funny, I said my brain was full. This is what I kind of mean, but I also just have other things that I'm thinking about that just keep making me toss and turn. But it's nothing new. That's probably why I'm not saying much on it. I always feel bad talking about all these things. All these like good little things I went through in life. Silly little fun memories because half the time I'm clouded by my stresses and stuff that I tend to kind of forget about them. And I think what makes me sad about it is I never got to tell you much about it. I think that's why I was still considered a mystery to you. Because I guess I was just so caught up in so many things sometimes that I forgot about who I was when you first met me. Kind of, sort of. I know not much changed from there, but I know how much you liked hearing these things. And I wish I could have told you them. I definitely wish things were different on my end of things, where maybe I could have been me completely the way I want to. And not to say that I wasn't. 90% of the time, I definitely always was. But that 10% that was missing, that made a crucial difference at times. I tend to lose it a good amount of my time. I'm a lot better with it now. But even then, I still struggle and forget about all these things. My life wasn't always just depressing. Sure, I I definitely wasn't given a great hand at things growing up, but I always enjoyed the smallest of things, like the simplest of fucking things. I was just thinking about it the other day, and I'm sure I mentioned this before. I remember, I don't know, I just remember being stupid and a kid, walking up these dirt hills that were for a construction site nearby and messing them up and then getting yelled at across the field. Get the fuck down from there. Because they were still, they're about to like fucking start setting things up and fucking stupid ass 8-year-old me putting my arms out, pretending to be a plane going down and losing velocity and shit. We also lived near the airport around then. I recently saw a TikTok that was like calming, where it was a calming scenery where someone's just laying down on a patch of grass near an airport, watching planes slowly descend and hit the ground, or not hit the ground, sorry. Oof. Just watch them slowly descend and land on the. Oh my god, I'm blanking on the name of where fucking planes land. I was about to say expressway, holy shit. Oh my god, landing strip? Well, it is a landing strip, but. Oh my god. Fucking Google time. Runway. I didn't even have to search it up. I was just staring at my fucking Google icon. But, yeah. But we would do that a lot as kids. I mean, hell, there was always an air show every April something. Well, there was. There was a couple of unfortunate accidents that ended up causing people to lose their lives, and they ended up stopping. They stopped doing it because of those things. The last tragedy, I remember, I wasn't a witness to it, but we had seen the smoke and heard like the delay in the explosion that happened. But someone captured footage of it and I saw it on YouTube, unfortunately, and I think it's still up. But it was this stunt duo, a husband-wife, where the husband would fly the plane and the wife would do tricks, but she was strapped, of course. Not in a gun sense. She was like, safety precaution-wise, onto like the wing, and she would stand on it while he would do like a barrel roll and shit like that. But unfortunately, I guess maybe he underestimated the wind flow that day or something, because it was pretty windy. And as he was trying to reposition himself and like balance, he just plummeted, and well, they both unfortunately ended up passing away. And fucking God, it was a terrifying thing to watch. I obviously, it didn't show anything else. It was just like that moment when things were just about to go wrong. And my mom and our entire family, after seeing that, we all got in the car and wanted to go make sure that something bigger wasn't happening. And then we just saw like the wreckage, and we were just like, fuck, okay. And then we just went back home, and on our local radio, it was announced that it was canceled for the rest of the day. We were pretty sad about it, but we didn't know about like the tragedy that had occurred until the day after, I believe. At least I didn't know till after. But that was crazy. It was something. But oh my god, that reminds me. Since Bostrom and I have been playing GTA lately. They had like a little car show thing that him and I got a text from like the players in the lobby, um, asking us to join, like if we want to show off whatever car. And the majority of them brought lowriders and stuff. And I was like, oh my god! I told Watson like this feels like home. He's like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, I mean, like over here we tend to have, or I've experienced like car meets like this where it was either a bunch of lowriders or like crazy fucking decked out sport cars that are slightly grinding the fucking concrete on the road and shit like that, or like fucking taking some of the asphalt with them, to some like crazy fucking like SUVs with cool fucking stereo systems and whatnot. He's like, huh, I've never seen that. I've never actually gotten to like witness any of that. Like, I'm like, not even a lowrider? He's like, no. And I'm like, really? Like, fuck. I told him, like, I had to see a lowrider before I ever went to a car meet because I used to live in the fucking ghetto. So, it was common. With those big old wheels at times, too. But, nah, it just reminds me of, my mom was, she wasn't with this guy, but he wanted a relationship with her, but she didn't. I don't know. It's weird. But he took us to a car meet one time, and we had to drive away from the cops because they were chasing away anybody there. And obviously pursuing the modified vehicles that definitely had some street illegal, or things that were illegal for the street. And it was just, what a time, what a thrill. But oh my god, the cars I saw that day were so fucking cool. All the pretty lights they had underneath their fucking, whatchamacallit? Well, under the car. I was gonna say, under the skirts and stuff, yeah. It was so fucking cool. And then there was this one guy who had a lowrider that had a bunch of fucking cool colors. Both the spray, both the paint job and the lights underneath. And to make matters like even better, he popped open his trunk and he had a crazy stereo system that when every time he closed it, the sound was like so trapped in there that the fucking the fucking trunk would just go like just bounce up. It was so cool. It was fucking crazy. And I think the craziest part of any of that, it was all free. Most of these experiences I ever had, witnessing the things I have, were always free. Because it's just a common thing down here. People have hobbies like that and love to showcase them. Hell, I even watched the monster truck rally at some point growing up. I covered my ears because it was really fucking loud, but it was so cool. I seen a drag race. Like actual bull riding, horse racing. I'm trying to think of like cowboy things. Cowboys doing like lasso challenges. That was cool. I don't know what else. I mean, I've been on a ranch before too, taking care of a bunch of like animals and stuff, but I never lived there. We just, I think it was like one of my mom's friends, and then school. We would go to those like little farms and stuff. Pretty cool. I don't know what else. Can't think of anything like super cool or like anything unique to down here, at least for me experiencing as a kid. I mean, we have like some old war battlefields. Those are cool, but yeah, just a bunch of grass. I don't know. My first vehicle I ever got to drive was a golf cart. It was broken down, but it was cool. Hell of an experience. So I remember watching oh my god, not Rick and Morty. Definitely not that. Oh my god. I I regret watching a season's worth of that show. Not for me, without a doubt. I only did it because my friends were into it. Again, they would come over to my house because I had cable at that time, and they would premiere it on Adult Swim, or they would premiere the episodes on Adult Swim, and I got to watch Pickle Rick live. Hooray! Rolled out the red carpet and everything for my friends. Fucking David, Adrian, Luis. I think Louis was there too, actually. Yeah. Oh my God, yes, he was. He kept fucking just saying, Pickle Rick, Pickle Rick. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. That phrase was banned from my house. But maybe I'm just not intellectual enough to understand any of the references or jokes that were made. That's definitely on me. But anywho, fuck. No. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of wacky things in life. Like, sure, I've definitely been through a lot. There was some decent and fun times. Some memorable moments that most people probably would never think of as like a nice thing. Like, I mean, I think it's kind of already obvious that, like, I grew up poor, without a doubt. I was a lowborn, as they would say in the medieval times. I saw it on a video, sorry. I haven't wanted to use it. But, no, so... Not everything was accessible to me, and obviously it wasn't the easiest of lives. I mean, where I lived, what I had to go through, and all that stuff. And one of the most beautiful and most memorable things I'll always keep to myself, or not to myself, sorry. It'll always be like a core part of me, because this feeling that came out of it, how special it is to me, was only ever replicated once by somebody. And I mean, I think it's pretty obvious who. I mean, I don't regret saying it. I know I probably sound stupid or whatever, but it's true, and I'm gonna keep to that. But the sheer simplicity growing up and just being happy to get sweet bread in the morning, remembering and memorizing every singular detail, that always brought this weird sense of calmness to my mind, to my body, to my soul, I guess. You know, going as a kid, just fucking walking and somewhat skipping to the nearest bakery with my dad, or sometimes on my own. Just looking at everything, hearing some of the birds and the cars pass by, feeling the wind, and then passing by that big old fucking catapala tree, with a bunch of those bean seeds falling on the ground and the flowers slowly blooming. Sun is barely peering through the leaves of that damn tree. And I felt content. I was happy. Happy to be able to do this for my family, and you know, it just felt nice. Like, in a weird sense, like the realest I've ever felt. I felt alive. I understood and I didn't at the same time. It was a nice balance. Just going in there with their freshly cleaned floors, and just looking at the cabinet of all the erasers and stickers they got. You can purchase for 25 to 50 cents, even 15. Well, paying with the Lone Star. And then process back home. Seeing my family happy or make comments about they really wanted this and they're grateful. I never got a thank you for it, but I didn't care. It was nice. I felt nice. That feeling of fucking Zenyatta Overwatch tranquility of happiness. It wasn't ignorance nor bliss. I was alive. I was present. I just took in everything and enjoyed and saw the beauty even in the fucking cracks of the concrete below me. Don't worry, I didn't step on them. I don't want to break my mom's back. But I definitely believe that heavily back then. I always avoided cracks because of it. And someone asked me if I had OCD one time, and I was like, no. It just always scared me if that was real. But it's because of that feeling why I guess I'll never stop. Well, I guess I'll never stop or ever forget all those good things. It was amazing. And I still wish and hope that maybe one day we can chat again without the feeling that it'll just lead back into a relationship immediately. Because what's been on my mind isn't necessarily that portion of things. Although, yeah, it was lovely. It was my favorite. Oh, you were my favorite. The friendship was always stronger. Or strong, sorry, not, or fucking, whoops. It was always strong with it all. It never faded, it was always there. You know, you could rely on me and I could rely on you, and it was great. And I know the gap in terms of like where we live, the distances, it wasn't the best. I wish I could have definitely done something sooner about it, but I unfortunately couldn't fulfill that as fast as I would have liked to. And I hold regret for being unable to do it sooner. And that regret isn't new. That regret's, I always carried it, that sense of guilt. Even though we had talked about it, it was always with me. Because I wanted what you wanted so badly. Like what we both wanted equally. So badly. I just wish it was easier. And I don't blame anything, even myself, for it. I don't have control of where I'm at now in terms of like how I've been placed. I have control in how to change it, but even then time is going to be required. Time is your friend and your enemy all together, and it sucks. But I'm still happy that I was able to do all I could. I'm happy that I was able to bring you what I could, even before we got together. I'll never forget those conversations when we first started talking and met and we got comfortable and close, where where I could hear the genuineness in your voice about how happy you got to have known me, how relieved you were to finally be seen, and how much you loved me before you could tell me. I noticed all those little details. But most importantly, my favorite one was always when I either heard or I could see you be happy, smile, and just be content. And just feeling the genuineness that radiate off from your smile to your words. It was something that I can never forget. And I don't think I want to forget. I'm always gonna cherish it. Even if people think I'm a complete fucking loser or idiot for it, I don't care. Because that was the same thing. Those were the same feelings that gave me that unique feeling that nobody in my 25 years of living could ever replicate. And it's insane. It is so strange to be in this position because it's a lot of things at once. I don't regret a thing. I don't regret giving you what I could and being there for the ways I was. I don't regret helping you through times or being attentive, listening and learning and just wanting to get to know you. I still remember everything, things that most likely probably changed now, from your favorites to your dislikes. I don't even have to have it written down. I just know. You shared with me something more beautiful than anyone ever has. You allowed me into your life just as I did yours with mine, but mine was still definitely a blur because I was always so caught up in my own fucking mind that I never knew how to explain it to you at times. And I wish I could have. I have blinded myself, no, not purposefully, but with things that I should have known better with. And although I was getting help even before I met you, and even in between, sometimes I wouldn't tell you, and I feel bad not because it was meant to hurt you in any way. I just wanted to tell you once I made progress so you can maybe be proud of me. But even then, that was still a flaw of mine. It was never the lack of trust. It was more just the way my brain works. To the used tos, to the common things that aren't common. I was a mess, and yet you saw me completely. No matter how much you doubted yourself, you were always right. And I made sure to give you that reassurance to know that you were as good as me at pointing out things. You saw right through me all the time. I guess sometimes I definitely got scared of that because I thought maybe you'd finally like see me, but you've been seeing me the entire time. And yet you still took your chances. I know I'll probably never be able to see the way you saw things in terms of like, how you saw me. And it's not because I'm negative, I'm trying to be negative, it's just more like, I don't know. I don't think I know who I really am. I do and I don't. I have an idea and the morals and the things I've changed and how I've grown and where I want to be and how I want to be. It's just I just struggle with seeing what others do at times. And it saddened me because I've always wanted to see what you saw as much as you wanted to see what I saw. Seesaw. But no. Regardless, I miss a lot of things. I think I miss our conversations. I miss just the intimacy of silence that we had and we were trying to get better with. And all those little things that we did for one another. Knowing how badly we wanted to do more. God, we were goofy. But I enjoyed it all. And now, not a day goes by that you don't come to mind about something. I'll see some of your favorite things, things I can't tell you about, things that just remind me of you, and things I know you would have loved to hear about, or maybe want to talk with, or about to somebody, or I think I just miss you. And I've said it before, so it's not like this crazily anonymity of sorts. I can't say that word. I don't know why I tried. We were goofy. I'll never forget the first nickname you called me when we first met. I mean, you used it with a lot of people, but I always heard you using it against or with me a lot. Fucking goober. You know, there's a peanut butter jelly brand called that. It's one of my favorites. Never knew it was called goober till I got it, and when I read the title, it made me sad. Made it even worse that the expiration date was your birthday this year. Yeah, and all I could think was, I wish I could tell you. Like, wow, what a crazy fucking thing. I think you would have maybe laughed or questioned me about what the fuck a goober is in terms of peanut butter jelly, but... Or you probably would have just taken the route you normally did. Okay, old man. Fuck you. I know, skibbity toilet, unk. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, my little sister calls me unk. Oh, not anymore, though. My hair's going back. She mainly called me unk because I shaved my head. Not entirely bald, but buzz cut. And it's been growing for the past 4 months now. And it's not back entirely yet. But it's finally showing curls again, and they're bunching up and, well, curling. It's weird. I mean, one thing Google got right when I searched up, like, the pros and cons of doing all this was one of the cons was insecurity, fucking insecurity. I was like, damn, okay. And it was talking about like how your hair is gonna grow weirdly, so I was like, oh yeah. And then I'm saying that now, but I don't feel insecure because my hair, I have curly hair for fuck's sake. It's always weird looking, but I'll one day achieve my old rock star curly hair. Miss the fuck out of that. I mean, I feel like what I'm doing now is helping it come back to that shape where it was all nice looking. I still have my pictures when I was in middle school and how fluffy and perfectly curled everything was. If God really did make us, I condemn him for one thing. Is condemn the right word? No. Yes. Oh, either way, he didn't give me enough arm hair. It's fucked up, man. My dad had hairy ass arms. Looked like a goddamn werewolf. I have chicken skin and fucking thin ass hair. Shit's unfair. God damn it. There's a billion things I could say and talk about and even go through, but I'm gonna try to sleep again. I wake up in 4 hours anyways, so. No, 3.5 hours. What the fuck? Who just went live on Twitch? That Frogger? Somnus. The fucking Overwatch streamer that's known for being incest baby, or at least that's what the I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking. But well, the reason I follow her is because she had Twitch drops for Overwatch 1 at the time, and she would collab with Flats and them, and so I would just kind of watch sometimes. But I remember I tuned in to her stream and they were all talking about high school time and blah blah blah, and I was actually kind of chill. It was vibey. I went back a couple of years with that one. I'm so sorry. Chill. Vibey. I criticize myself too much on the choice of wording I use. Just because I still find it weird that I'm saying dude again. Although it's like normal for me. I don't know. I put myself in the perception of being fucking old too much sometimes, and it fucks with me. But anywho, I definitely should try to sleep. What time is it again? 5. Oh, I thought it was 4:30. Oh shit. That means I have 3 hours and 40 some minutes, 48, 47. Damn. I mean, I'll be fine. I'm always okay with that stuff. But if push comes to shove and I need more sleep, then I'll just cancel with I'll just put my alarm further and sleep more. Okay, well. Yeah, no, I mean, I should head to bed. Soonish, huh? I never forget about even those small things. I catch myself using soonish and immediately always thinking about you. Like, Bostrom will send me a messenger and be like, want a game? And I'm like, yeah, soonish. And I'm like, fuck. I mean, to be fair, I'm sure you still carry bits and pieces of me without realizing, or sometimes you do. And I do the same too. It's never intentional. but I don't mind it. It's not like, I don't know, it's not like breaking me in some way. I think it just makes me miss you, and that's it. But I don't think it'll ever get too heavy enough where, like, I'll interrupt with your piece right now. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. I just hope that maybe you reach out. As much as, like I said, I would love to do it. I don't think it's right for me, especially if I don't know where you are at in life and timing and all these things. That's not up to me. That, and you could always reach out. I mean, I'm here. There's nothing more than that I want than to hear from my friend again. But maybe that's just me now. And even so, that's okay. What I said and what I said and what I'm saying is still gonna remain true. It's not gonna flaw anything because it's real. These are my thoughts, my feelings, and they're valid. I know they are. People's perceptions are always going to be different, and that's fine too. Some people will be stubborn or look at it in a weird angle that doesn't make sense, but will try to convince themselves, or egos and shit like that. I've seen it all. I've been through it. I've heard about it. It's always something, but what I feel and what I think will still remain true for a long while. But the other thing I need to make true is shut in my eyes. So, goodbye, good night. Have a good day, morning, tomorrow, afternoon, bada bada, whatever the fuck. Have a good spring too. I forgot that it was on the 22nd. And I know how much you love this season. And Easter coming up. I hope you guys get to, what do you guys usually do with your brother and the kid and all that? I remember their names before it sounds like I don't. I'm just not going to say it out loud because I feel like it's like doxing in a way and I don't want to do that. But enjoy your time with your mom too. I know she loves Easter as well and just decorating. Oh yeah, I every time I go out to stores, I always see village things, and it always reminds me of you and your mom, and how she has her little thing outside. Hope that's going well. Hope she's made like a lot of cool progress with it, because it was a really pretty thing she had going. Little close-up pictures you got of like the dew in the morning that was like on top of the little rooftops of some of the houses. Even the little mushroom one, fucking adorable. So I hope that's going well for her. Anyways, I sound talking to, but yeah, goodbye, good night, have a good everything. I'll be around, as always. I plan to, I'm gonna play Warframe tomorrow. I'm just gonna do my Railjack stuff, because I need to upgrade a bunch of stuff from there that I never bothered doing, and it's free XP and mastery rank level, and I want to get to 17 because that's like a soft cap where you no longer have to worry about like unlocking certain things. 19 is the next one, but no, there's only like 2 or 3 items in 19 that aren't like that crazy important whatsoever. So, but I'm gonna wait until everything gets built. I'll see if I maybe go for Grendel soon, because I really have been wanting to go for him. And then April 8th has Ruin of Prime, which I'm pretty excited for. And then all these freaks will be done soon. God, I'm so happy I got the fucking blueprint already. I've had her parts built for so long. Dominate. Sorry, my right eye, my good eye is closed. I don't know if I ever said it on stream, but I have glasses now, of course. I'm sure I've said that many times before. And they found a tear in my left eye, which is why my vision is very poor on that side. And so it would make sense. I mean, things are a lot foggier if I were to close my left eye compared to my right. That's a lot more clear. But one thing I definitely do hate about glasses is the more I wear them, the more my vision obviously gets blurry and more adjusted to them. So even watching TV, not here, since my desk area, TV's right here, but in the living room, if I were to watch a movie with my family or something or whatever, yeah, my glasses. Oh, that reminds me. I showed my little sister my name is Orwell. I used to watch it with my dad a lot, and I was watching through them and making sure like there were episodes that didn't have anything like too profane or anything. She's been giggling and laughing about it. But nah, it's been fun. Anyway, yeah, for the third time, goodbye, good night. And well, as always, and then I gotta wait, and then